Is the Tenderloin really one of the worst neighborhoods in America? As I was scrolling through the internet yesterday, I was enraged. People that are not from San Francisco were portraying the Tenderloin as hell on earth.
Get off me! I didn't even do nothing to you!
Because there are definitely already some people like eyeing me up.
The Tenderloin, if you want to find all the negatives about San Francisco, look there.
People I do life with, caught in their worst moments, strung out on drugs, living in poverty. As someone who grew up around here, the Tenderloin was misrepresented. These videos only portrayed one side of what the Tenderloin is. So I thought to myself, I have to reveal the truth about the Tenderloin. Welcome to the Tenderloin in San Francisco, California. If you think you've seen it all, you haven't seen anything. This is the Wild West.
They don't give a shit, man. You know, they're making all kinds of money. And just standing there. I told them they needed to pay rent. The cops would quit fucking with them.
Wow. Just last year, we lost over 700 people to drug overdoses.
Yeah, 2 people died in my hotel last month.
Do you smell it?
Fentanyl.
Oh, fentanyl.
Yep.
And a state of emergency was declared by the city of San Francisco in our neighborhood. But don't ask me, just find out from the people who live here. My cameraman and I took to the streets to show you what it's like out here.
The Tenderloin in a state of emergency.
As we were driving, we decided to call our boy Nolan to see if we can get a tour of his single resident occupancy, aka SRO.
Where you at? You at the base?
Yes, I'm based right now.
All right, I'll see you in a little bit.
Many parts of San Francisco have been gentrified, but the Tenderloin is ungentrifiable due to the presence of the SROs. SROs are free to cheap housing for low-income individuals, and they are an undeniable part of the Tenderloin.
What's up, Nolan? You good?
I don't know.
Hey, man, you think we can film inside the SRO? You got the hookup? You got the plug? Let's do it. You sure it's good? We can go in? All right. We're inside a SRO right now. I don't know what to expect.
As I was heading up the SRO, I didn't know what to expect. I've heard so many things about SROs, so many horror stories, and so I was just bracing for what's next, seeing what was to come.
This is exclusive access right here. This is the community bathroom. That's a unique thing about SROs, is shared bathroom.
Yeah.
How many people share this bathroom?
Everybody in this floor does.
How many people's that?
About 20.
Hey, it's better not having nothing.
Dang, 20 people share that one bathroom. And as I was walking down the hallways, it smelled like dead bodies. So I was waiting to see what he had inside his room.
We have made it inside an SRO. So are most SROs around this size, or like? There's bigger ones. Is this one of the smaller ones?
Yeah. No, it's one of the medium rooms.
So there's even smaller ones.
Yes, there are.
Man, it's only 20 by 20? And there's smaller ones? This is definitely subpar conditions for anyone to live in. But the smell.
Damn, blood.
Hey, what does it smell?
Like pee.
It smells like death, bro.
You're in straight yet?
What is
About
that?
2 people died in my hotel last month.
It smells like a dead body.
Yeah, 2 people died in my hotel last month.
Do you smell it?
Fentanyl.
Oh my, fentanyl.
Yep, there's showing black and everything. I say diluted and pee was big.
And he was dead.
Yep, it's horrible.
Inside look of an SRO.
As I headed outside the SRO, I couldn't help but think that 18,000 people in San Francisco live in these conditions. Going inside the SRO was raw. But the streets are super raw.
I know people that go to the bus stop, they Narcan somebody's life and get on the bus.
Yeah, get right on the bus.
So my cameraman and I took to the streets to film on ground zero. First in the daylight, and then in the night. All types of people. To find out the truth. Is this America's worst neighborhood?
So there's the police station right there.
Hey, y'all do the cop watch?
Cop watch? Nah, bro.
I'm about to say, because these police out here don't give a damn about nothing. All like for little small crimes and shit, they don't got no time for it.
Truth is, you see a lot of open air drug use, and the police have chosen to not concentrate on that.
All right, cool. So we're out here with Donnie.
Donnie, how long you been living in the Tenderloin?
13 years.
Do you think it's better or worse?
Way worse.
Why?
All the drugs.
What is something that you think can really help with all this?
Well, you know, I free dope.
Free dope? So
Give everybody what they want and
give people free dope, and that's the solution.
You know?
Clearly, Donnie's seen a lot. As I was walking around, I knew I had to end our tour of the Tenderloin streets during the daytime with an interview with Iris.
If you want to know about the Tenderloin, you're about to learn firsthand from a real one. Not somebody who heard about it, somebody who lives it. Okay. So we got Iris right here.
And you guys are talking to a superstar.
Iris, aka Hood Superstar, is a shining light to the community, narcanning people to life and watching out for the neighborhood. So I knew I had to pick her brain a little bit.
So, talk to us, Iris. Let us know the deal.
Hello, my name is Iris. I was out in the TL ever since I was 13 years old, selling drugs. I had kids. When I stopped using, I had went to jail, got myself together. It wasn't no fentanyl out here at first. And next thing you know, it started coming up with fentanyl. Cause like on Father's Day on a Sunday, it was this dude dropping dope. But it was fentanyl. They got the smoking it and they was half dead, all right here. Yeah, I caught a couple of bodies. Okay, now let me tell you.
When we say bodies, she didn't kill the body.
No.
She brought the body back.
The body was
fentanyl
dead
overdose.
from the fentanyl overdose.
As Iris continued to talk to me, she revealed how fentanyl has become more problematic. Being on the ground confirmed even more to me that the Tenderloin has suffered a lot due to synthetic drugs. Iris works right here in the heart of the Tenderloin at Glide Memorial Church and has a front row seat to this whole drug situation. Why did you choose to work at Glide in the midst of all this pain?
So how long have you been at Glide?
I've been at Glide for 22 years.
22 years.
22 years.
Right here on the block.
And ain't got in their trouble.
And like, what keeps you at Glide? Like,
well,
because it's a crazy job.
Because for one, I'm a people person.
Right.
You know, I love people. You know, I'm trying to help you.
Right.
You feel me?
I feel you.
I told him, I said, I ain't putting you down because I was in that same boat you was in. But I just got my shit together. You know, I was tired.
Right.
That's it.
Iris is an inspiration. A true caring individual who's devoted 22 years of her life to helping those who were in a similar situation as her. Are there more people like her? Is there more to the narrative about the Tenderloin than just being a dark place full of drugs and despair? We went to the rawest parts of the Tenderloin during the night to find out.
All right, we're just gonna walk up the street. Leavenworth can be a little off the hook. So literally 1 block over is one of the richest districts in San Francisco. It's a 1 block difference from where the tourists are at and where the Tenderloin is at. 1 block difference, so close.
Literally 1 block away from Union Square, I had a heart-wrenching interaction with a lady named Doris.
What's your name?
My name is Doris.
Tell us about the neighborhood. Has it been getting worse or has it been getting better?
It's been getting better and more supportive. Things happen that's non-controllable, but we hold together.
We hold together. Doris proceeded to show me that there is a community of those living out on the streets who consider themselves family. Doris then walked me over where she sleeps at night, and it was a rough sight to see.
So this is it right here?
Yeah.
This is where you sleep?
I have a garbage can here, 2 garbage cans here, and a garbage can there.
You make like a little home?
Yards away from disposable riches, and she was sleeping like this?
Before we leave, what is something that you want to tell people about the Tenderloin?
You know, to hold on to each other.
Thank you so much.
Don't lose yourself in the game.
It's super intense, man, you know, and it's real life. It's a real person. This right here was one of the biggest drug blocks in San Francisco, and it's become one of the best blocks in San Francisco, which is crazy. If you were here 6 months ago, this would be full of drug dealing.
Even though Doris' story is hard, there is hope. Efforts by the city and nonprofits have turned this notoriously drug-dealing block into a cornerstone that breathes life back into the community. As we headed down the street, I saw people just out having fun. Is this really as bad of a neighborhood as people make it out to be? I walked further down the block and ran into my longtime boy Mel, and my guy, C.
So we right here with my boy right here. And I just want to know, man, like, do you think this is a good neighborhood?
It's a diverse neighborhood. It's not exactly good, it's not bad, but it's livable.
What Mel said was true. The Tenderloin is a diverse neighborhood across many lines. It's not as bad as the media portrays. As of recent, the Tenderloin has been getting heaps of negative media coverage from YouTubers to major news stations. Mel wanted to set the record straight.
So you think all those negative videos on the internet are true?
No, definitely not. Definitely not. What you see on YouTube or anywhere else that they try to make the L's seem like, I mean, it's a lovable community. Like, it's a lot of care and concern out here.
A lot of kids and families, right?
It's a lot of kids and a lot of families, which brings the care and concern, the most important thing.
Mel is right. There are a lot of kids out here in the Tenderloin. Many of San Francisco's youth grew up here, living their formative years here. And almost all of the media on the Tenderloin is one-sided. To think that the Tenderloin is mostly full of druggies is far from the truth. People ask, can anything good come out of the Tenderloin? The Tenderloin has the biggest immigrant community in all of San Francisco. People spend their formative years here and grow up to become something great in life. Meet a Tenderloin product, a first-generation Vietnamese immigrant who is a leader in San Francisco. Meet Sang.
What's up, Sang?
What's up, Erwin?
How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good. How
Good
you
to
doing?
see you, man.
See you
Cool.
too.
You think this is a dangerous neighborhood, like it's perceived on the internet?
Yeah, I mean, I think perception is far from reality. I feel like the neighborhood isn't as dangerous as the media hypes it up to be. From my own experience, you know, I grew up here, my family grew up here. There's a lot of families that grow up here, especially from Southeast Asia, post-Vietnam War.
And there's a lot of misconceptions of people in this neighborhood. They're portrayed as bad people, drug addicts. You know, is that true?
There's some truth in that, but I don't think that's the whole truth. There's families, children that grow up here and that call them, you know, this neighborhood home. Because people love poverty porn, you know? These people are just drawn to poverty, and people just kind of, you know, eat it up because they want to see the dark side of San Francisco.
Dang, poverty porn? I haven't heard that one before. The Tenderloin has been the poster child of negativity. There's more to the Tenderloin than what's out there on the internet. And that's the heart of this video.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is, I would say there's a lot of hope here, a resilience from the people in the Tenderloin, a lot of families who are trying to make it in America. Growing up, when I just moved to America, we lived down this block on Leavenworth.
Okay.
Like 7 of us in like a 2-bedroom apartment. And I think growing up in the TL, I think gives you a different type of toughness. You know, it helps me, shapes me a lot of who I've become.
I remember watching 10 straight videos about the Tenderloin and seeing nothing but drugs and outsiders looking down on the neighborhood. How about showing a college graduate from the Tenderloin who has a heart for giving back?
So we're in the neighborhood here where these YouTubers are supposedly saying it's too dangerous to come and they're getting run out of. It's crazy.
It's crazy. I don't watch YouTube anyways.
And that's the reason you don't watch YouTube.
Oh, that was a good one.
As I finished up my time with Sang, we were fortunate enough to run into a 30-year Tenderloin legend. If you know, you know.
Right here with my man Omar.
Hey.
Omar, how long you been in the neighborhood, bro?
I've been in the neighborhood going on at least 30 years.
All right, tell us something about the Tenderloin, because everything on the internet is negative.
Everything's on the internet. I watch a lot of internet about the Tenderloin. I look, and I say to myself, why do they always show this, that? They do have homeless here. They do have drug dealing here. But there's more to it than that. There's a lot of good restaurants. There's a lot of good eating places. They got churches here. They got community people here that helps out people in the community. And all the people ain't bad. Everybody you see sleeping in the tent doesn't use drugs. Everybody you see sleeping in the tent or on the streets isn't a drug addict or an alcoholic. Some of them just came down on their luck at a worse time.
I can attest to this. Not everyone who's homeless has a mental illness or a drug addiction. Some people I know just fell on hard times and didn't have a shoulder to lean on.
I walk these streets every day. I speak to a lot of people. A lot of people speak to me. They know my name. I talk to them, and they talk with common sense. You might see them standing over there talking to themselves for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, but then once you hold the conversation with them, these peoples are once school teachers. These people are once was firemen. They was somebody. It's just right now they have something going on in their life that's stopping them from going back to where they came from.
And to finish this off, do you think that there's a lot of restoration going on, a lot of good going on in this neighborhood?
Yes, there's all types of organizations here to help people, and they are helping people. For instance, I've been seeing YWAM, this place, they've been a community place and doors open all the time for anybody that want to come talk to them and come see them, and that's been for years. There's other organizations, Glide, they have been here. They never gave up on the people that's here.
That's the beauty. There are organizations in this neighborhood that have never given up on the people. And there are people who suffered on these streets and are now dedicating the rest of their lives to giving back to the streets. Dale Seymour, the mayor of the Tenderloin, featured in the New York Times and in TED Talks. Dale Seymour is a visionary with a bold plan to see a better tomorrow for the people in the Tenderloin. After getting out of Vietnam as a combat medic, Seymour fell victim to the Tenderloin. He has used these pains to love on the streets in a radical way through a nonprofit he founded, Code Tenderloin.
How you doing, Dale?
Hey, brother.
Thank you so much for the time, man.
So this is the home of Code Tenderloin. We've been here 7 years now. And we're the only coding and software engineering school in the world designed for people that do not have homes.
So what birthed this dream in your heart? What made you create something so incredible?
Just pissed off because the tech industry eliminated communities like this from their workforce.
Okay.
And they continually avoided us. I spent 35 years out on those streets, heavily addicted and heavily challenged. And I was able to get my life together through my God, who is Jesus Christ.
As Dell and I headed outdoors, the atmosphere was heavy.
How does it feel being on these streets, walking these streets again?
Sometimes it's depressing. You know, I see a guy my age, especially African-American guy my age, is laying in his own waste. And I said, that could be me. And then I think, no, they used to be me. Right now, if I was on drugs, and by the time I got to where he's standing, I said, you know what? I don't want no more of this stuff in my life. Where could I go this morning? Nowhere.
Nowhere. Dell explained to me how there's a need for more immediately available drug rehabilitation programs, as these programs can be hard to find.
So Dale, I mean, like, you over here, like, brought us to this building. Like, what is this place?
So this is a place called Piano Fight.
Okay.
And it's a community center where we do live acts, we do music, we do performances, we do drama, we do comedy. We feed the community, and it's also the daytime home of Code Tenderloin.
There's beauty in the Tenderloin. The Tenderloin is home for many prominent theaters, as it provided work for many musicians in the 20th century. Though it gets a gloomy reputation, it's a neighborhood of beauty. Dale then took me to one of his classrooms.
This is my main classroom. So we do lectures here. I've had the entire recruitment from Twitter, Adobe, Microsoft, Salesforce, all here. The first one I did, I had maybe a dozen recruiters from the tech community that was steadfast on saying people in the Tenderloin don't want to work. And I had them outside, and when they showed up, I walked them in this room, the standing room only of people that wanted to go to work in the tech community. And they says, wow, you're real. I said, I told you.
Since starting Code Tenderloin, Dale has seen students land jobs all over the tech community. However, what really sticks out to me is the way he helps guide people through the small things.
One thing I noticed that you said a lot, and you said it at Code Tenderloin, is you guys kind of just help people with the small things.
When I get these big groups in here, and they say, what can we do? I says, become a mentor. And this actually happened. I had a girl who's the most quietest girl in my class. I didn't think she would ever get a job because she wouldn't talk. We sitting at a Macy's. She got hired on the spot. She was homeless on the street when we met her. Her family was separated from her. She wasn't in a relationship with anyone. When she got a promotion in a week, on the day that she got that promotion, she had no one to call. I said, I don't need you all to be no sugar daddies, no sugar mamas, be a mentor.
Wow,
Be
that's
a true
powerful.
mentor. Take them out to lunch every few months. Get them some gym shoes on Christmas. Be that person, because also in other way, they have no one to call and say, man, my boss treated me like an asshole today. What do I do? And I get them calls every day.
Wow, and I think what you just said is so powerful because it could bridge the gap between the rich and the poor. It could bridge the gap between the suburbs and the hood. And you know what? There's going to be some two-way learning. What's one last thing you would want, you'd want to tell people about the Tenderloin that they wouldn't know otherwise?
Don't believe what you hear. Come down here and see. Feel the love, smell the love, touch the love, and enjoy the Tenderloin.
Seeing the way Code Tenderloin has impacted the neighborhood gives me hope. Even when things seem bleak, hope can arise from adversity. There are people who believe the Tenderloin can be great. I had to meet up with my best friend Paul to hear him about his vision for the Tenderloin. Meet Paul Salame.
I was here in the Tenderloin 10 years ago, on dope and homeless, on O'Farrell and Leavenworth.
Paul, we know that your story has a lot to do with this place. Let the world know your story, man.
Yeah, right here. As you can see, this bus stop right here, I had a van and I was homeless inside of it. Sunny Hotel is where I lived. My landlord was also my boss, and he owned this liquor store right here. Messing around, I stole $100 from the cash register to get more dope. He found out, and he kicked me out of this place and my job. Within 3 days, I was homeless. Right here, messed up.
Just like that, in a matter of days, Paul became homeless.
You know, in the van that I was in right here, I had a mattress, a dirty mattress. I was sleeping, and all the precipitation of my body heat was dripping off of the roof of the van, and one dripped right on top of my forehead, and I woke up. And I was like, you know what, bro? It's time to change.
It's a wrap.
It's time to change. I felt so disgusted. I had the worst gutter feeling in my heart. That was like the third time that I was homeless, so I was like, you know, I can't do this no more. I had to do the hardest thing in my entire life was to ask for help. So I had to stay put. I had depression for 6 months, and I'd just be in my car all the time, just praying to God to help me.
Paul is my best friend. Seeing him recall his past cut deep.
I actually used to do drugs with Paul back in the days. We used to hang out, do a lot of trouble. And to me, it's inspiring to actually be interviewing him, hearing his story on this video, because I see what he's doing now, and I see that there is hope.
Hope. Paul has used his deep disappointments from being homeless in the Tenderloin to radically love on the community.
Hey, my man, good to see ya.
What's going on, baby?
I'm the most well-dressed homeless bum in the Tenderloin. Because you matter.
Paul speaks life into people. Paul is loved in this community. I had to ask Paul about what drives him.
So you're driven deeply by your faith. You're driven deeply by what you consider a divine calling. Am I correct in that?
Yes, it is. He's real. It's a miracle that I'm coming back here with this kind of love for the people. You know, there's people that get better and they just go on with life, which is okay. But when you're touched by Jesus Christ, he doesn't want you just to be okay. He wants you to have a vision and a purpose to love people, love him and love people. And that's how you gain confidence in your own identity. A lot of people are looking at celebrities, they're looking at political leaders, they're looking at sports players and they want their attention. Everybody's seeking for those people's attention. But it's the other way around over here. You want the attention of the people who are distraught on the streets. You want the attention of the people who are messed up and who have crazy past stories and that can't help themselves. You want their attention. This is God's heart for the people.
So it's a little bit backwards. When you have a heart for this type of neighborhood, what you want is the attention of the people that nobody know about, the people that nobody care about.
Right.
Like that's the type of heart that you've developed, it seems like.
Today, Paul works at a nonprofit called YWAM San Francisco in the Tenderloin, just helping out in different capacities. I've seen his life change dramatically. The Tenderloin means a lot to me. And that's why this video means a lot to me. It's important that people truly understand what their neighborhood's about and not what people make it out to be. See, what you don't understand is that I too fell victim to this neighborhood. I too fell on drugs and on hard times, and my darkest days were in this neighborhood. But now, because of the grace of God, my brightest and my best days are ahead. And I'm here living it, giving it back to the Tenderloin.
All right, so this alley right here means a lot to me in a bad and in a good way, I guess, because just like every typical 20-year-old, you know, more than 15 years ago, I did a lot of ecstasy one night, kind of hit me really bad, and I ended up on this alley right here, actually, you know, pleading for my life. My friend that was with me was freaking out. So what he did is he called my family, and they came and they picked me up almost at 1 in the morning, and I was overdosed or almost overdosed. But I always think, you know, what about all those people, the people that don't have nobody to call, they don't have nobody to help them out. They just suffer, they just die, you know, and then society says, oh yeah, they were no good, or oh, they're bad people. A place like this, it means a lot to me, you know what I mean? Like, you don't know where people come from, you don't know all the things they go through to get to the place, you just know that they're there. You know, and that's why the Tenderloin gets a bad rap. Because you know what? It is a place where people come to hit rock bottom, but it's also a place where people take off from. My vision for the Tenderloin is for mentors. That's one thing that I want to see, is people come here and just give back to the community. Just give of your time. Take somebody to lunch, dinner, invest in them, invest in their career, invest in their well-being, you know. People are complex. It's more than just being alive, you know, it's what you do with the life that you have. You know, a lot of people here, you know, there's a lot of hope in this neighborhood. There's a lot of places where you can go and you can make it in this world. Look at Chris Gardner, you know, the pursuit of happiness came from these streets. It's possible. You just gotta connect with people that are gonna help you and walk you through these things. And that's why I'm in the Tenderloin. And that's why this video means a lot to me, so people can know, hey, there's more to the Tenderloin than these bad people. This is not bad people. These are great people that just are in bad situations and bad times. There's a lot of children in this neighborhood. There's a lot of kids growing up here, going to elementary school, middle school, high school out here. You know, this is what they know every morning. This is what they hear at night. You know, this is what they experience. And guess what? Those kids come out to be great kids. Those kids come out to do things in their life. People come, you know, they're street smart, they're book smart. You got best of both worlds coming out of this neighborhood. This neighborhood is a library. And you can learn and become, you know, very wise. You know, there's a richness in the people. There's a richness in the neighborhood, in the brokenness. There's so much art and beauty.
There is hope for the Tenderloin. Since filming this video, Paul's reaching people the city wants no part of. Iris still saving lives through Narcan. Nolan continues to use his life to love everyone that he encounters. Unfortunately, we haven't seen Doris. You see people once and never see them again. Since growing up here, Sam graduated college and makes an impact mentoring the younger generation. Dale continues to be a resource in the Tenderloin, but he wants people to come to the Tenderloin to help mentor his students. Even the cameraman got touched amid all this and decided to dedicate his life to God and loving others. Is the Tenderloin really where you find the worst of San Francisco? 777 likes. If you guys want to see part 2, check us out in the links in the description. Follow the channel and send us a message. We can connect you through social media with the nonprofits that we worked with.